It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Okay, engines fired up, we're set. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Gasly's behind you. Okay, Sonoda's behind you. Current forecast is 5 or 10 minutes more of rain before it starts to dry up. Inters look like the best tyre for now. Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining. running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint, not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7 mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Surfer Girl lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Perez, Hamilton, Stroll, Behrman, Fittipaldi, Gasly, Iwasa, Ricciardo, Ocon, Albon, Vesti, Joe, and George Russell ends our grid lineup. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say they've got the better of them more often than not.
Yeah, they have, and it's, rule number one, beat your teammate. They're the one that share the same equipment as you, and yes, the cars can vary and set up from race to race and depending on who has which style, but essentially they're your barometer, the yardstick. If you can beat them, that's the first job you have to do, and it looks like it's going their way, doesn't it? And they need to carry on this momentum, this energy through the rest of the season.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway ahead of today's sprint. As all the cars take their positions on the grid, the final preparations have been made, and all that's left is for the drivers to deliver on track.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 6.4 seconds. Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and of course the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time. It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Standing by.
Welcome along then to where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the very final corner. And just 1 year later, Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's time then for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7 mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. That gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And starting next to them is George Russell. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Norris, Surfer Girl, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Fittipaldi, Tsunoda, Stroll, Ocon, Perez, Behrman, Gasly, Ricciardo, Iwasa, Albon, Joe and Frederick Vesti. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say they've got the better of them more often than not. Now, sadly, things didn't work out for them last time. It was a bad race. Question is, though, can they recover today?
Yes, they can, Crofty. You've got to put it behind you. Whatever happened last time, I was always told as a driver, park it, forget about it. Obviously, feel the pain when it happens, but then you can't dwell on it and carry that through to the next race. So put it behind you and just crack on with this race coming your way now.
The formation lap gets underway here in Brazil. Some memorable moments in history have come from this very circuit. Will we be treated to another today? Well, let's find out. As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can, and they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that, within the points.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. Now use DRS now available. Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push. Job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 1.7 seconds. Okay, Russell's ahead, and gap to the car in front, 3.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap, 1 minute, 11.6. Russell's ahead of you now. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 4.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time, 1:11.9. You're losing around 1.6 seconds. coming up to one of the Mercedes cars. We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Okay, mate, lap times are a little erratic at the moment. We need consistency, so let's try and stabilise them. As things stand, we're going to be leading the championship. Keep on him, he might make a mistake. Leclerc is stopping now. Fernando is in for his stop. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Okay, forget the targets for now. We've got to focus on the pit stop. Okay, let's go now. Come on. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, good work. Great pass. Okay, mate, it's Hamilton ahead. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push. Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate. safety car deployed. Slow down and...
Of British and the best on the track, it's George Russell who wins.
Well, they showed true grit out there today, Crofty, a steely determination not to be outdone by the rough circumstances at many points that came their way today. A job well done, not the easiest of days, but they walk away with a race victory.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.